Hello, 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 I am Raymond Smith and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already subscribed. Today we are reviewing the movie Spy Trap, which technically fits under the genre of Save the Rec Center type of movies, where a bunch of kids raise money for a good cause. But it gets weird. Just wait till I get into the subplot of this movie. But before we can get into the subplot or even the main plot, we must meet our main characters who are introduced to us through camcorder interviews.
I'm an Army brat. My father works for the Joint Chiefs here in Washington.
So your parents are divorced?
Well, isn't everyone?
I'm 13 years old. My father's an architect. When I grow up, I want to be like him. I want to be an architect, a Democrat, and make six figures, whatever that means.
My first name is Denver, as in the capital of Colorado. My last name is Deck, as in all hands on deck. My mother's had 3 husbands, at different times, naturally.
It's me, the famous Erskine.
And the rec center, if you will, of this movie is their music teacher.
My name is Zelda Maple. My friends call me Zelda. My students call me Miss Maple.
Miss Maple is blinded in a acid attack, so they decide to raise the $100,000 for her eye surgery. And their first plan is to have a concert. She is a music teacher after all, but it doesn't exactly work.
7, 28, 2050, 29.
With $29 being a lot less than $100,000, they need a new plan. So they decide that, hey, you know that Russian guy that eats lunch in the park? Let's sell him fake government secrets. Yep, concert didn't work. Let's become spies.
My name is Vladimir Timoshenko. I'm 37 years of age, and I'm a first secretary in a Soviet embassy here in Washington.
Luckily for our heroes, Denver is a model plane enthusiast and Newton is a great artist, so between the two of them, they are able to make realistic looking blueprints to sell to the Russians in pieces. But the Russians have a spy inside their embassy who leaks information back to the United States about a meetup through a fake bag of peanuts. And spies from both sides show up to the drop-off, but the kids have it covered and hold an impromptu concert in front of the money drop.
Stealth, F-19 fighter.
I think we got us our secret.
And that completes the tail section.
Good Lord.
Other than the American government, who thinks that they have a spy selling government secrets, everybody's happy. The Russians hail the embassy guy as a national hero. The kids are able to make their first donation towards Miss Maple's eye fund, and Urchin and Denver have even started dating.
The position of the woman on top. There isn't anything that automatically makes this position work. It is the freedom of movement. It gives the woman to seek her own satisfaction, which in large part explains why it is so effective for some women, especially women of masturbation type Roman numeral 3.
Yeah, did I forget to mention that the subplot of this movie is that Denver is obsessed with sex? Yeah, 'cause that's the subplot. I even cut her intro off early during the camcorder bit because it ends like this.
My mother's had 3 husbands, at different times, naturally. Polyandry is when they overlap.
you have them all at once. It's also known as group sex.
Seriously, I'm not sure she has a line in this movie that's not about either sex or her own boobs.
You're doing it again.
Doing what again?
You're staring at my boobs. You're doing it again, Erskine.
Doing what?
You're zeroing in on my boobs again. Well, every morning, I sit in front of the mirror for 5 minutes and I talk to them. Grow, titties, grow! Grow, titties, grow! I already been to the movies with him twice. All he wants to do is feel me up. What if we was to write a book for kids about sex? We could talk about female ejaculation, multiple orgasms, the G-spot, that sort of thing. Everything you wanted to know that the parents wouldn't tell you. You know, a lot of women fake having orgasms, but not me. When I finally make love with someone, I'm gonna fake not having orgasms.
Spoiler for the subplot portion of the movie, it was all a plan by Denver. She was never felt up at the movies by any boys because she has no boobs, boys don't like her. So she's been making up all these stories and mentioning boobs and doing all this sex talk, trying to get Erskine to grope her. That's her entire subplot, is trying to get groped. Why in a kids movie we have a 13-year-old girl talking about masturbation and the cowgirl position, I have no fucking idea, but it is almost half this movie. Okay, back to the main plot. Another bag of fake peanuts later, both Americans and the Russians send everybody to the next drop-off point so that it doesn't get screwed up this time.
Mobile 8, pick him up on Pennsylvania.
Red herring is turned into the Naval Museum. Let's get a blanket on that museum.
Mobile 12 here. He's all yours. Over and out.
Whirly bird breaking on.
But our heroes outsmart them again.
It's stupendous.
You see what you can do when you put your minds to it?
Fasten your seatbelts. Erskine here is coming up with another one of his brainstorms.
Now that they have half the money, they decide to celebrate by entering a kite flying contest when Erskine notices that Newton's kite kinda looks like a spy satellite. So they sell the plans to the Russians once again, and Denver gets to show off her model plane flying expertise with an air battle against the FBI. Do not think any of the planes had guns. I don't know where the gun shooting sound effects came from, but whatever. Good guys win again, but now they're captured by the Americans and then the Russians, and all hell breaks loose, but they're able to get away, and the movie ends with them flying the kite and the Russians and Americans sitting there watching, figuring out that they have been hoodwinked. Miss Maple gets her eye surgery, Erskine finally grabs Denver's boob, and both the Russians and Americans see them flying the kite at the end and realize that they've been scammed by children. The end. Miss Maple gets her eye surgery, Denver finally convinces Erskine to touch her boobs, and the movie ends with the kids flying the kite. Both the Russians and the Americans see the kite and realize they've been scammed by children. The end. Overall, I don't know who this movie is for. It was originally called Zits, and that's the name that IMDb calls it because Erskine keeps looking at his zits all the time. But it's basically a Save the Rec Center movie where kids have to raise money, but usually they would just throw together a concert at the very end and save the day. But instead, in this movie, they throw the concert, no one fucking shows up. So to pay for their teacher's new eyeballs, they get in bed with the KGB and the Russian government. What? And why is there a character just talking about fucking and masturbation all the time? Who is this for? Who thought it'd be a good idea to have a little girl talk about the cowgirl position for minutes? This movie was made in 1988, which is the very tail end of the Cold War, and Russia was pretty much done by this point. But the writer was really interested in spycraft and the CIA and KGB and went on to write a bunch of novels about it. So I guess he did some spy stuff, and then somebody came along and threw kids into this spy movie, and it just doesn't make sense. I don't know who it's for. There's some comedy stuff in there, but then also an acid attack and kidnapping. I don't quite know what they were thinking. And there's probably a reason no one has ever heard of this movie, much like everything I review. Cast and crew for this one. It is directed by Arthur Sherman, who was an actor with about 20 roles before this film. He stopped acting right around this time, and it's the only movie he ever directed as well. It is written by Robert Little, who didn't write any other movies but did become a novelist, writing spy novels, and two of his novels, Legends and The Company, have been turned into TV shows recently. As you may expect, with a mostly child cast, only two of our main characters are still in the entertainment business. Cameron Johann, who played Hoggy, the kid whose parents are divorced, he's still a Hollywood producer that works all the time. And Devin Rattray, who played the chubby kid Oscar, was just in the new J-Lo movie Hustlers, along with Amazon's reboot of The Tick and Chicago Med. Thank you for watching, and as always, I shall try to do better next time. Here is a bonus clip from the movie. I don't know who this is for.
Maybe the judge will be leaning on us because we're kids.
Maybe they'll be lenient on me because I'm a girl.
Maybe he'll be lenient on me because I'm black.
Yeah, good luck with that. Judges love black people.